G'day. Well, this is Michael, if you haven't worked it out, from O'Donnell's Aussie Homestead. And what I want to talk to you today about is 7 things to consider before buying a homestead. Look, there's a lot of people out here now who just aren't feeling comfortable where they were before, and I can understand that. And I think, and see here, I don't know if you know this, but if you look down there, these fruit trees, there is, these first few are getting all the fruit taken off last winter. I don't know what it was, might have been a rat, might have been a possum. Possums here are mainly vegetarian, as far as I'm aware. They're a lot more cuter than the ones you have in America or other countries. Ours look cuddly. We actually made a mistake at one point. We sent them over to New Zealand and now they're out of control. But anyway, the reason I brought this up is it's probably better to start out small. Test the waters, find out what you want to try first, and get a few animals going, a few a little bit of garden, and in that way you can just get used to gardening. I wouldn't like to see you go out and then buy a blooming 5,000 acre farm or even a 100 acre farm or even 5 acres and find yourself up here drowning in don't know what to do. So I really feel if you start out in your own homestead, this is number 1 tip. Start out in your own homestead, get an understanding which way you want to go. Try a few things, and that way you're good to go when you go to a bigger one. So let's move on. Boy, okay, this is where we're up to now. Goal number 2, goals. Goals, if you're going to do off-grid or self-sufficiency, or if you want to go to along the lines of just a hobby farm or a big farm, this is what you've got to consider. You've got to work out what is your goal. What do you want to try to achieve? That's a very important thing, because unless you've got that structure down, which way you get ahead, you've got to need to know that. So think about it, sit together with your partner. If it's just yourself, well, then you'll only argue with yourself. So work it out, and then we'll take it a bit further. Okay, well, so hopefully you've looked at the goals 1 and 2, your reasons to do this. And when you did 1, you thought about, you've been trying to do it at home and you're growing your, tried crops, tried some animals. And now, in number 3 reason, I think you've got to look at what you've done there. Which is, where's your focus going to be on this farm? Is it going to be the likes of our little mates here? Our little mates just here? Whoops, just here? Is it going to be animals? Turkeys? Guinea fowl? Alpacas? Whatever. Or is it going to be the likes of fruit trees? Do you want the likes of all sorts of fruit trees? Some you want to run an orchard. They're great things to do, orchards and stuff. And or do you want to have the likes of I say with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, have a garden like I've got over here, which looking pretty sad and sorry. The reason I ask you about that is, yes, darlings, it's all good. I'm trying to hold a tripod at the same time as walk. Look, this, you can see, I'm not going to make a living out of that, out of doing produce. Oh, look, none of this is about living with me. Goats, for me, they just adds a bit of fun to my life. I love the animals. The likes of these fruit trees take a long time to grow, and you have to replace them quite a few times because of the goats. Look, I'm going to show you something else. I paid over $300 the other day buying fruit trees because rats ate the last lot. Guess what? They're doing it again. They chewed the bases. Look at them, they're getting yellow again. Over here, down there, they chewed all the base of it. Honestly, it's a fight. The one over there. So you really got to sit down and work out where's your focus. What are you good at, and mainly put a bigger percentage towards what you're good at. You still try the others because you don't give up. You keep on trying. She knows I'm on camera. Why are you doing this? Yes, and you go a bit crazy too when you have animals. But honestly, I don't know what to do without them. I really love them. My wife gets a bit frustrated with me. She doesn't quite get it. But she's very happy at the moment. I'll have to tell you about that another day. But anyway, there's my little twins here. Billy the kid and his sister, Millie. Anyway, moving on. Right, number 4. What do you want to get out of it? Do you want to make money? Do you want to just break even and cover costs? Or do you want to just a straight out hobby and it's all about the fun of it? When I got into my farm, if you want to call it that, it's not big enough to be a true farm. If I wanted to make a living out of this, I would need a lot more acres. There is ways you can though make money out of a farm or break even with a small farm. And that is, you got to pick the right animals or product. Now, I don't want to have marijuana, but there is some things that I've been already doing and having my animals, and I've found some animals to be very helpful. That is rabbits for a start with me. Rabbits are a good way to offset my expenses. Now, if you get enough rabbits, you can make money. But you then probably have to go commercial, selling them the meat. I don't want to go that way. I prefer to sell them for pets. All my rabbits here, originally started out just for the love of it, and I was going to have a few meat rabbits for myself. I couldn't find it in my heart to put them down. And I said to myself in the beginning, if I sell them to people for pets, then why do I need to eat them? And so far I haven't done that, so it's been great. I'm happy that way. Would I eat rabbit meat? Yes, I've eaten rabbit meat. It's really nice to me. So it's a matter of opinion. People say, oh, it's too tough. That's only because they were getting wild ones. They're probably 15 years old for all I know. Whereas rabbits here, if I was going to eat them, I know exactly how old they are. I'd be getting them 8 weeks old or something so young and juicy. And I'd let them marinate. There's some good videos on that in YouTube. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to talk to you about, is that which way do you want to go in these 3 things. What I might do a video shortly on, if you tell me if you want to, on how to make money on the homestead, more deeper into it. I think like I said before, I might do that. Yeah. Comment down the bottom if you want me to do something like that. I'll be interested in knowing. Anyway, so if you want to make money out of anything, that's what you've got to think about. Which way are you intending to go? That's number 4. Oh, sure. Now the next question for you: what size farm do you want? Because you've got an idea now what you want to do, how much money you want to make on a farm, if you want to make money or whatever. So you've got to make a decision then how big you want that farm. And you've got to have to work out where you're going to have to go, because it all costs money. But for now, number 5, how big do you want the farm? Do you just want a small 1-2 acre plot, or even do it in your house yard? Or do you want to go to something like me, which is about 7.5 acres, which is not bad. My neighbour, he has 30 acres, which is even better. He has a bigger billabong on his property than I have. He's even got a creek running through his place. I've only got the edges. So these are all got to be taken into consideration. Or do you want to be like several thousand acres? I had a farm with 5,500 acres, and it was too much for me. When I was okay when I was younger, but it was just too much. It's just keeping it tidy was the hard thing. Repairing the fences, it's practically a full-time job just doing that. Anyway, so you've got to find out how big you want this farm to be. Now, number 6, you're going to have to work out how close to town do you want to be. Do you want to be right on your doorstep? Now, there's lots of advantages. You've got to find your Goldilocks spot. And if you know what I mean by a Goldilocks spot, that sweet spot between big and small. Distance versus right on your doorstep. Now, me, that might be too close for some people. Here I am, there's a industrial estate right up to my border. Now, they don't like that because they hear my cows and sheep and whatever, chickens, squawking all the time. I actually have a bit of problem with a few of them there. Maybe one of them bitching about the noise. Well, he should have researched, shouldn't he? He shouldn't have built next to a rural area, should he? But they still doesn't stop them from trying to make it hard for me. They'll complain to council all the time. So there's a downside for being close to suburbia. I'm only 1 block away from an industrial area, 2 blocks, and they're small blocks, from a huge shopping centre. A shopping centre one side of me, like 2 blocks away. It's far enough, but close enough. I am 2 blocks away from a Bunnings, which is like a Lowe's depot or something like that. I am very close to that, only 3-4 minutes. I am close to another shopping centre, about 5 minutes. I'm 5 minutes, I can be anywhere in the thickest, but I'm far enough away, doesn't bother me. But then I get this. See, that at peak time, this road is a hello sweetheart. This is a sort of a duck through road, so people tend to duck this way when I want to get through in a hurry to their house. So it's good that way, but you might prefer it right out in the boondocks, out in the sticks, miles from nowhere. And that's fine and dandy, but then you've got to remember, if you need something, you might have to travel an hour or 2 to get it. I know I used to go hunting on a property, and it was I was driving an hour and a half, and I went through this gate, and I said to one of the guys, when are we going to get onto the property? He said, you've been travelling it for the last hour and a half. I said, oh, here we are now reaching the house. Oh, that's amazing. Then he says, but where you're staying is the shearing sheds. That's another hour down the road. So a place like that, the owner would fly to the town. It's just too far to drive. So yeah, and that was about, that was out near Broken Hill, if you've ever heard of that in Australia. Ivanhoe, actually the place was Ivanhoe, I should tell a lie. And yeah, and it was still, once you got to his front gate, it was about still another hour to Ivanhoe. Anyway, that's what you've got to have to think about. Where is your Goldilocks spot? What are you prepared to put up with? And there's one other thing you need to think about: research. And like I said, they made the mistake back on the other numbers. This is number 7 we're talking about here, up on the hill there. They didn't do their research when they bought a house. One person didn't anyway. The one that complains, because he came here because this place was all overgrown, and he thought, nah, there's nothing to worry about. he never thought someone would clean it up and fix it up, did he? And so he ended up being next to a working hobby farm. So you've got to do research. You've got to work out what laws apply in your area. Some states are much easier than others. Some are much tougher. Now, I have a friend, Josh, from In Your Yard Homestead, and he was telling me over in Western Australia, where he is, what are you going on about? I've got a bit of guard, I've got a Doberman having a freak out. He was saying he's not allowed to have even quail without a permit. Holy jeez, a quail! But see, they're more worried about them getting loose and mucking up the ecosystem. Over here, they don't care about quail. They can get as many as you want because they're super quiet. You know, they're a good little animal. Anyway, so that's what you do. Do your research. Very important. What do you think? You agree? Do your research? Hey, he's a beautiful dog. Very, this is a Marama. Very similar to the, what do you call them? Great Pyrenees, I think that's what it's called. I think that's right. Look at him. They're a bit buffier headed, a bit more fatter in the head they are, and another 10 kilos or another 20 pounds heavier than this fella. And he's a bit small for his age, I found out. Is that right? You a bit small for your age? No. All right. He thought he wasn't. Anyway, catch you later. Hope you appreciate what you've seen, and please ring that notification bell. All right, this is take 3. Every time I do this, some animal comes along and licks the posts on the blooming tripod. Look, I'll get it done before everybody comes along. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to go through all my 7 reasons, and I'm going to break them down, give you more in depth on each one, so that if you didn't quite understand what I was getting at, I might try and help you. Anyway, I hope you liked it. I hope you subscribe and ring that notification bell. And if you get a chance, spread it on your social media. Great. Catch you later. Bye.